Hey y'all, this is Sergeant Dan with Palmetto Edge. I got another knife for you. This is the Benchmade Bugout. This one's been out for, I think, a couple of years at this point. I don't think it came out last year. I think it's been out for a couple of years now. From Benchmade. Very popular model with them. So let's get into size comparisons so that I can get the specs knocked out of the way and get into the full review. So here's your Benchmade 940 Osborne. As you can see, the Bugout is a little shorter both in handle and blade than Osborne. Got your Spyderco Delica here, and let's see, they're about the same as far as handle length goes, but the Bugout has a slightly longer blade. And let's get a little one up here. How about a Kershaw Shuffle? Bugout's definitely longer in both handle and blade than this one. Alright, so how about our specs? We have a 3.24 inch cutting blade, S30V steel that is gray chromium nitride coated. It has Grivery handles, gray chromium nitride coated pocket clip. It's a Benchmade, so it's got an axis lock. Not all Benchmades do, but a good 99% of them do. Has these brass colored thumb studs as well as a barrel spacer here. That's the same color. Got your lanyard hole. The pocket clip is it can be left or right hand tip up carry only, so another ambidextrous one from Benchmade. These come in a couple of different options. You've got this coloration with the, I think they call it Ranger Green. It looks more like an OD green to me. To me, Ranger Green's a little lighter than this, but it comes in the green Grivery handle with the gray chromium nitride coating. It is gray, I promise. It looks almost black, but it's a really cool gray color. So yeah, it comes in this color both in serrated and non-serrated edge, and then it comes in a blue handle with a satin blade, both in, I think that one comes in serrated and non-serrated. It definitely comes in non-serrated. I think it comes in serrated too. So yeah, let's get into the nuts and bolts review of this thing. So one of the biggest deals about this knife was how lightweight it is, how thin it is, how lightweight it is. And I don't usually mention weight in my reviews because it's not really a factor that I take into account when buying or carrying a knife. But this one is 1.85 ounces. That's light. That is crazy. It's got a good handle. It's got enough texturing on it to be able to keep a grip on it. One thing I do like about it, it doesn't have any real finger grooves in it or anything like that, so it doesn't make me put my hand in a specific place, but it's just based off of its design and shape. It's comfortable. It's got a real comfortable grip. Your hand wants to naturally fall where it does when you grip this, and it feels great. I don't really get any hot spots from it. It's got some jimping up here on the top, so you can place your thumb up there and really bear down on something if you need to. The pocket clip is a short, deep carry pocket clip. So, man, when this thing's in your pocket, it disappears. It truly disappears. This is all you see. You got a little bit of the knife sticking up out of the top of it there. Okay, but I mean, this is just about all you truly see. It's got, axis lock, but it's got the smooth. Well, I didn't do very good that time, but it's got smooth action that you expect from a Benchmade. I got no side to side or up and down blade play. let's see. One thing I did have to do when I first got this one, which I typically do with all my Benchmades. Anyone that owns a Benchmade knows that one of the first things you do is you dial in the pivot to where you want it. Mine was a little loose and it initially did have some side-to-side blade play. But man, once I got it dialed in where I like it, as you can see, it's not stiff. It still will fall, okay, but it's not swinging, okay. That blade play went away. Let's see. What are some things? One thing that I've seen people complain about with this knife, there was a guy, I can't tell you who he was, not because I won't tell you, I just don't remember. I watched his review of this knife, and at first he was telling how much he loved it, until he heard this. And that's what he did. He scratched and he was like, that sounds cheap. I hate this knife. I can't stand that. You buy the knife knowing that this is some kind of plastic, and then you complain about it making a plastic sound. Come on, dude. But anyway, another thing I've seen people complain about is the fact that the grivery flexes. Okay, yeah, you see that? But that doesn't bother me one bit, because if you want a knife this light, sorry, y'all, having a thunderstorm here. If you want a knife this light, it's got to be a light plastic, okay, like grivery here. And you also don't want it to be a solid, rigid plastic. That's how things like this break. You want it to have that flex in it. You want it to be able to give a little when you're gripping it, when you're giving it hard use, okay? A solid, rigid plastic would be one that would break or tear up, and where would that get you? Let's see. Y'all, this is just a great knife. I'm trying to find something that, trying to look at it and see other things that people might not like. I'm trying to find something about it I don't like, and I honestly can't. There is absolutely nothing about this knife that I can complain about. Yeah, I mean, that's about where I'm going to have to leave this review, because it's just I hate to call a knife perfect, okay? But man, if there's not one that's near perfect, this one is, okay? I got nothing to complain about with it. It's smooth, fast deployment. I don't know if I mentioned it or not yet, but it's S30V steel, so it's a perfectly fine steel. No complaints about that whatsoever. Fine materials, good, lightweight but durable materials. The color's cool. Okay, even the other one, the blue with the satin blade, which I still want. I haven't got one of those yet. I still want one of those too. One thing I do need to mention about this one was a gift. My wife got me this one for, I can't remember if it was Christmas or birthday. But yeah, this one was a gift from my wife, and I love it. Like I said, I love it. But if there was one thing I could change about it, I would have preferred the plain edge without the serrations. Have the serrations caused me problems? No. Do I like the knife any less because of it? No. Okay, it's still one of my favorite knives that I own. I just wish that it had the plain edge. So yeah, that's the only thing I got. But then again, that was essentially a personal choice. Okay, it's nothing wrong with the knife. It was just a personal choice on that one. So all right, that's about where I am. I mean, this thing is a awesome knife. Like I said, I've got nothing about it that I can complain about. I've tried pointing out to you the couple of things that I've seen other people complain about with this knife, which, I showed you don't bother me one bit. So let's get into the last little segment of my videos here where I discuss price. So this knife in this configuration is $136. The other ones with the blue and the satin are, I think, around 119. And this is all pricing I'm getting off of BladeHQ.com. Okay, so at $136, am I glad my wife got it for me? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. As a matter of fact, I would like to have all the versions that they come out with. I'd like to have, of course, keep this one, get the one with the plain edge, and then get both of them in the blue with the satin. Heck, I'd even like to get the gold class one that they just came out with this year, but that's $700, $650, $700, $750, somewhere around there. That's well out of my price range, okay? Although it'd be cool to have. So, at $136 for this specific model, am I glad I got it? Absolutely. Would I replace it if something were to happen to it where Benchmade wouldn't fix it or replace it? Absolutely. This one is in my standard rotation as far as EDC knives go. I've got tons of knives, y'all, and I've got about 5 or 6 that are in my standard rotation, and this one is one of them. A lot of times I take this one with me to work too, if for nothing more than to just, when things are slow, sit there and have that fidget factor, okay? And I've got plenty of other Axis Lock Benchmades that do that, okay? But, man, this is a great knife, all right? So if you are looking for yourself a good, sturdy, all-around EDC knife from a company that supports their product and will help the customer if the customer has an issue, here you go. Benchmade Bugout. Like I said, you got your 2 different price points, 2 different style options. Okay, if you don't like this for $136, for $119 you can get the blue with the satin blade. Okay, you've got several options, and let me tell you, for a knife, for an EDC knife under the $150 price point, I can't think of a better one for just your standard EDC purposes. Here you go. This is the, dare I say, this is the king of EDC knives under $150. Yes, I know there's other great options, but I don't know. I love this one so much. So, y'all, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ask any questions you have of me. I'll try my best to answer them best I can. Channel's growing slowly but surely. Let's keep that growth going, and be looking for more videos from me here soon. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.